Good morning, everyone. Kevin here with the Parts and Service Desk. Hope you all are doing well. And if you're watching this video when it's Monday, I'm sorry. So, something I wanted to talk about today that has bugged me for a little while because I've seen it off and on and off and on. I see it more at the independent shops, the franchise stores, the mom and pops. Occasionally, but rarely, I see it at a dealership. And this is, I'm trying to think of really how to say it, how to title it, I guess you could say. And it's an odd one to title because it kind of falls in the grasp of ignorance, meaning lack of knowledge, also experience, and training. A lot of it really comes from training, or sadly, the lack thereof. And that's something that's been really frustrating for me here lately, because a lot of us, like myself, and like a lot of you out there, have left the actual job that you did. Now, granted, if you're in the automotive industry, you can leave the automotive industry, but it never leaves you. So, you kind of are stuck with it. It's like once it's in you, it's in you, and it's very hard to get away. I see all the time on our favorite Facebook page that we all like to follow that everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm out. Peace. I've done this for 2 years or 10 years, 20 years. I'm out. I'm done." Yeah, right. You're still going to be doing it in your home garage. You're still going to be talking to your friends about it every day, and you're going to be telling your friends and family about all the idiots that you've dealt with. It never leaves you. But back to the thing at hand and why I wanted to bring this up, because it's really becoming a problem, an epidemic. And it's this whole training thing. So I went into this franchise location, and I tried to look at some prices for some tires and just see what was out there, looking at putting some different tires on the truck. And I'm at the counter half listening to the guy that's talking to me, because I'm more focused on the stupidity of this phone conversation of this employee at the shop trying to talk to an extended warranty company. And having done both, being on both sides of the fence, I literally know the conversation that's going on. And I'm trying to focus on the guy that's trying to sell me tires that I'm not buying today, that I'm just kind of getting some prices for future. And I'm having trouble focusing because I'm thinking of this conversation. And I know it's kind of going something like this. Okay, cool. This is what the customer says, and the warranty company probably asks, what did you do to diagnose it? And I've seen shops, and having done the extended warranty portion for a while, I've heard this, and it was the exact same thing. I heard this tire shop person say, "Well, it needs this part." Okay. I know the guy on the phone on the warranty company asked, "Well, what did you do to diagnose it?" And you could see the puzzled look on this counter person's face, because one, they had no idea what was done to diagnose it. They're probably not a car person. And in a conversation like that with the warranty company, unfortunately say they probably shouldn't be the ones calling in the claim. Two, because of their ignorance and not knowing how to answer that question, they were probably never instructed in their career to go back to the technician and be like, "Hey, okay, I got an estimate for the wheel bearings you're quoting. How did you figure this out? What did you do?" And this is good information, not just for the shop, not just for the repair facility, not just for their own personal growth, but also if they're going to talk to a customer, the owner of the car that might be mechanically inclined, this is good information to have so they can actually go, okay, cool, you actually did the right process, so that validates what you're going to do, and I'll buy the repair. And that's important. And 3, again, like I said earlier, they were probably never trained on what to do. Either told, here's what happens, here's what we did by their supervisor, by their team member, or by the technician, or by anybody. So they're just, they have no idea what to do. They have no idea where to go to get the information. I mean, they kind of should, because they're at the shop with the people working on the cars, technicians, mechanics, whatever you want to call them, parts hangers. Go ask. Don't be afraid. Don't be on this high horse, because if you're in this private mom and pop shop, if you're in one of these franchise company stores, you're terrified of looking stupid, but I got news for you. You really look and sound stupid when you don't know, and then when you just befuddle with an answer, you can't, your answer is not, it needs wheel bearings, and then we looked at the tires, and it needs brakes and rotors and tires and a brake flush because it failed because of the brake strip. Okay, that wasn't the question. The question probably was, what did you do to diagnose the noise concern? Your answer should be, now if you're in one of these private shops, if you're a new advisor at one of these private shops or franchise shops, or even if you're in a dealership, if you're new and you don't know, get your pad and paper out, because I'm going to tell you what to say. And here it goes. Okay, great. So what we did to diagnose it was, we road tested the vehicle with the customer to confirm the noise they were hearing. After that, we brought the vehicle back to the shop, raised it on a lift, did a shakedown. Shakedown. That's something that a lot of warranty companies actually pay for. After we did the shakedown, we did notice that there was some looseness in the front end. We further inspected it. The technician probably did, probably didn't, probably has skill to hold and shake the wheel and look around like this, I don't know. Find that there was a lot of movement from the front wheel bearing on both the driver and passenger side. Now I'm going to pause there. Do you see what I'm saying? How it sounds like it has a lot of weight to it, how it actually sounds professional, how it sounds very believable because it is truth. So that's something to kind of consider, that information. Now, again, you're addressing that noise concern. So being that you're at a tire shop, you're probably going to look at the tires. You're probably going to, check brakes and stuff like that. This is all stuff that's fine and dandy, but not part of the initial question. Those are add-ons. So add that on later after you answer the first question. So you've got the gist of it, okay? And you've told them this is what we did for diagnosis. And simply after you've given them that information, which might sound like a lot for our conversation, for this video's sake, but it's actually what you would normally say in this environment with this conversation or with this call with the person, customer, warranty company that you're talking to. Then, of course, the last thing you've got to do is, so based on all that information, that's why we're recommending both the driver's side and the passenger side front wheel hub bearing. I know it's the hub bearing based on the conversation, and obviously I heard them say hub bearing. After that, that's the point, because you obviously, at this point, as a shop, more than likely don't know the type of coverage that the customer has. That's the point where you'd say, oh, and by the way, again, just to mention, that's the only concern they had. But while we were there, we did notice something else. And for your benefit, so you know, in the warranty world, I always do that. In the service contract world, that's what is called a tech find. Typically, because your tech is filling out a multi-point inspection, and while he's filling out that multi-point inspection, he's trying to find stuff to make more money, to sell more work, to make the shop more money, to make the owner more money. And so we call it, in the business of the warranty side, a tech find, which typically in the dealership world, that's what we always call it as well, as a tech find. So for you mom and pops or the franchise shops, that's typically what that's referred to. That's the point of the conversation. If the wheel bearing issue is the only concern they have, that's the point where you would say, now, by the way, also, I'm not sure if this is something covered, because again, we haven't talked about coverage, but while we were inspecting the wheel hub bearings, the technician also had found an issue with the tires. You had to pull the wheels off. Oh, look, there's the brakes. Your technician is doing his job and looking at the brakes. The pads are worn down. It needs rotors. We did a brake litmus test on the fluid, which I don't even think those litmus tests are really as accurate as they ever thought they were going to be, but here nor there. Those are the add-on items. Those are the tech finds that are great to mention. Now, are they covered? 99% of the time, there's no contracts that cover maintenance. Unless it's like a brand new car, the customer prepaid for maintenance when they bought it from the dealership, what have you, which is rare. Hardly anyone ever buys those contracts because it's basically a large lump sum that they're prepaying for. So not really a warranty, just a prepay. In the world of extended service contracts, the ones that are aftermarket, your third-party warranty contracts, they never cover maintenance. Brake pads and rotors are a wearable item. They don't cover flushes like a brake fluid flush or a transmission flush. So you might think, well, I'm not going to bother telling them. It's definitely a good idea to tell them. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is then when you come to your customer with this really large estimate and you're all gung-ho and excited because you got a portion covered by the extended warranty company, and now you've got whatever size portion of a repair that you've got to sell to the customer. After you talk to them and say, hey, great news, and here's probably another pro tip for you. Great news. I just got off the phone with your warranty company, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, and the initial repair you brought it in for is actually covered by your contract. Woohoo! But we did also find some maintenance items, of which those things that typically are your responsibility to help maintain your vehicle and throughout its life, like the fact that it is due for brake pads and rotors. We took measurements, and here's what they should be. You're below that at this number. And so we are advising, recommending, suggesting, oh, there's those words you don't really hear a lot anymore. Replacement of the front brake pads and rotors, the rear brake pads and rotors, or both front and rear brake pads and rotors. In addition to performing a brake fluid flush. We did a test, it's failing the test. And also vehicle manufacturer recommends, fluid manufacturer recommends it being done at this mileage interval. Or of course, whatever your BG, Run Right, or brand of chemical company that you use recommends. And then let them decide. Will you get it every time? No, not every time. They'll probably just want to get done what the warranty covers. But you remember I said that it's good to mention those items to the warranty company when you call in, right? Yeah, why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you don't know, and now I know a lot of you seasoned guys out there know this, and you know where I'm going, and you're already like, yep, we know. That customer, in their mind, when they bought that extended service contract, whether it been at mom and pop dealership that sold it because, hey, great news, you got a warranty. They bought it online from a random TV show featuring a glass of iced tea that has ice cubes in it. See where I'm going with that? In the customer's mind, they don't understand the fact that it's just like health insurance, just like automobile insurance, like when you get in an accident. There's different levels of coverage. What? Powertrain. Pretty much it's the basic. Whatever makes it move, with some exclusions. You've got some mid-levels of random titles, some high-end coverages of random titles. But majority of your contracts are powertrain. They cover the internal lubricated parts of the engine, transmission, and driveline, transfer case, maybe even a turbo, who knows? It all depends on who they bought it through and what's covered. But your customer don't know that. Your customer, in their mind, bought a warranty. And what is a warranty? Everything's covered, right? From bumper to bumper. No. And they're going to look at you like your head's screwed on crooked, because even though, customers are just those kind of people that have selective hearing. When they put on that customer hat, selective hearing. And in their mind, everything's covered. So they're not going to believe you. They're going to be like, all right, cool, go ahead and do what's covered under warranty. And as soon as they hang up that phone with you, they're going to curse you up and down to whoever's sitting next to them and go, I'm going to call that warranty company and see what's going on, because this all shit should be covered. And then they're going to get a hold of the warranty company. And the warranty company is going to reiterate to them, no, you just have coverage for this. Whatever makes it move, or this and that, and this and the other. Well, you don't cover brake pads? Nope. Don't cover brake rotors? Nope. Don't cover brake fluid flush? Nope. Well, I'm going to cancel my contract. Oh, gosh. Couldn't tell you how many times I've heard that. But the reality is what it is. It is what it is. So, do your diligence. Get your information. Understand to the best of your ability. And I say that respectfully, because even though we're in the business, doesn't all mean we know about cars. There's stuff that I don't know about cars. I know it's hard to believe, but there are some things that I don't know. Yeah, electrical is not my friend. I understand it a little bit. Yeah, it's not my friend. I don't like electrical. But, there's a lot of stuff I do know about. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses, and that's okay. You can grow from that. But if you don't know and you're trying to sell, the big moral of this story is at least have some type of basis of understanding for what you're trying to sell. Understand the questions that you're going to be asked. And if you don't know how to answer them, as best you can, quickly find out the answer, and that will help strengthen your conversation that you're having, as well as strengthen your mind and knowledge. So, if you've liked what you've seen here, and you'd like to see more, please, if you would, make sure to like, tag, share, and subscribe to our videos. It really helps us out, and greatly we appreciate everything you do in this business and industry. So remember to keep your chin up. Always enjoy those random, wonderful customers that come in that drive us all crazy. And if ever you can, make sure you try to take some video of it. If you share it with us, share it to our Facebook page or send us a message on Instagram. If we like it, we'll also share it and give you a shout out. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Kevin, and this is the Parts and Service Desk.